James, welcome to Capacity TV.
Cabot, it's a pleasure to be here.
How have telcos adapted their approaches to CDN players?
The telecom operators have been looking at investing in and participating in different ways in the CDN market for some time now. I think a number have gone through different business models, right? Whether they're looking at CDN as a way to reduce costs on their network, as a commercial opportunity to drive new revenue, and also, how do they interconnect with and how do they work with the large over-the-top CDN players like EdgeCast or Akamai and the likes of us. So the strategy has certainly evolved. I'd say that for the most part, everyone has a different strategy. And I guess that's the one thing. There's no one-size-fits-all anymore. It seems to be that some folks are building, other folks are partnering, other folks are basically saying, not now, we'll deal with it later.
Does it matter which geography they come from?
I think it does. The cost of bandwidth and the capacity of the network is a very relevant factor. So in some of the developing markets where the reduction of international bandwidth costs and transit costs has a very material impact on the bottom line, those operators are very open and willing to peer to start with, but also to embed CDN caches in their networks. Within the more developed markets, it's less about reducing the cost or impact of the CDN as it hits your network. It's more about improving the quality of service on your network to your users and also monetizing or commercializing that traffic. The IP transit business is a tough business. CDN is certainly tougher, but if you're in the IP transit business and you see you're losing some revenue to CDN, you want to be able to have a CDN product in your portfolio so that you can recapture that revenue.
What are the benefits of outsourcing CDN services for telcos instead of integrating it within their own portfolio?
I think there's been acquisitions. So KDDI in Japan bought CD Networks. Level 3 bought Savvis' old CDN business. Certainly Tata bought BitGravity. So there's been acquisitions. For the most part, it's a quicker time to market to partner. It's also a very competitive and technically challenging business, and so building it internally and having a competitive product in the marketplace is tough for telcos to do. And so buying a best-of-breed solution provider or partnering with a best-of-breed solution provider like EdgeCast is the preferred way to go for a lot of folks. Not buying, but partnering.
And how do you think the relationship will continue to evolve over the next, say, 5 years?
We work with about 12 telecom operators today, and we're continuing to add more partners into our portfolio. As a CDN, we have to interconnect. So we have to connect to their networks and terminate our traffic on their networks. And so there's a strategic relationship that typically involves us buying capacity or peering with them. And I think a buy-sell relationship in the wholesale space is very common and evolves with us. So we're going to continue to evolve our partnerships and allow our telecom partners to become white label resellers of CDN. When appropriate, we'll put our caches into their networks and figure out a rev share that works for both of us. And some folks have decided to license the technology and build out their own CDNs, and they can participate in the Open CDN Federation, and we can buy and sell capacity from one another. So there's lots of different approaches. I think telecom operators are just looking at the right business case for who they are, their market, and their budget.
James, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.